YAJs.
It was Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm black. I was supposed to be off. I ain't supposed to be working. Oh.
We are on air,
Welcome to YAJ.
What's up, spiritual brothers and sisters, on a YouTube Tuesday, and
hello.
You know what?
YAJ.
Seriously?
Yeah, what you doing?
Seriously? All right, let's begin because you know where I gotta go tomorrow.
We
Work.
all got to go to work tomorrow.
I don't know about these people, but I gotta go work. Hey, check it out, y'all. As always, like I said before.
Hi, Tony. What's up to you too?
Love my family, love my kids, love my grandbabies. And before I begin, it took me a second to think about this because somebody who was supposed to be here tonight, he is more of a gun advocate than I am. I'm not into guns. Never have been, never will be. I'm not saying I can't shoot a gun. I'm just saying I'm not into guns. Also,
Hi, Susie.
I'm more of an advocate about other things. Yesterday was a big rally. 22,000 people was in the city of Richmond yesterday. While all the rest of us was working because it was Martin Luther King's birthday, the others were out advocating for guns. This is not a pissing match whatsoever. You do what you do, I do what I do. But I read a little bit about the Second Amendment. And if Antonio was here, I would be able to pull something up. But, you know, I don't know. I'll put it to you this way. I trust a lot of my information with my classmates because we all took government together. We took history together. And believe me when I tell you that one thing about it is, I don't know what they're trying to do with the guns, but what I do understand is this. We have to understand protection because protection is going one-sided. And when I mean protection, I mean this. I have every right to protect myself in my home. So therefore, I am good with just a pistol. But I don't need an automatic weapon to fire at one person or persons because remember, if you're in a dead sleep, what exactly are you supposed to do? Because if they get the gun away from you, guess what? That could be a bad situation.
That's why you hide it in different places.
If you are asleep and you can't get to your gun, what are you supposed to do?
Well, I don't know. Stay asleep and hopefully nothing will happen.
That's not true. What I'm saying is this. I understand why y'all did it. I really do. But what I don't understand is there is a whole lot of more rallies that 22,000 people need to show up for than just guns.
Well, they had a rally today.
They had a rally today. It was the minimum wage rally. Where was these 22,000 people? Only 100 people showed up. Hundreds of people. Which means is it was probably about 200 or 300 people that showed up for minimum wage. Which means is all you people who was down in Richmond rallying with the guns, you don't care about minimum wage, where people can't even hardly make a living. So if a crook is breaking into my house and I ain't got nothing for to steal, well, why is he breaking into my home?
Well,
See,
I was told someone said pop a cap in their ass. You know who that was?
I don't even want to know.
I got you, Susie.
Thank you, Susie. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this, y'all. not knocking anything. But what I'm an advocate for is we haven't had a rally for bullying. If we did, I missed it. We haven't had a rally for suicide prevention for children. How does a child know how to kill themselves? Because they're being bullied. The two things that never have been resolved. But we have 22,000 people who showed up for guns because you think your government's going to take them. And the government haven't even fixed bullying yet. Matter of fact, we're not even talking about that. Again, that passes on because we keep talking about abortion. I'm still trying to figure out what man got pregnant that he needs to talk about abortion. I'm not saying whether I'm pro-abortion or not. I'm just saying I am not in no position to tell a female what to do with her body. You tell me a man who had a baby, I tell you we need to get rid of abortion or not.
Well, I think it's the woman's body. I think she should be able to do what she wants. Now, I understand that there are men out there that would like to have their children. I understand there are some women that do abuse it way too much too. But you have the right to do that. I mean, it is our bodies. Especially if something happens to you, you have every right to have an abortion if you want an abortion.
Yeah. If you get a sex change and God told you had to leave your gender what it was and you couldn't touch it and you went and did it, that's against God's law. God never said nothing about you changing your sex. I'm not saying.
Right.
You had to show me that now?
Yeah, I did. I thought that'd be the time to show you.
I'm not worried about that. Look, because I'm getting off the subject here.
Okay, we'll get on the subject.
What I'm saying is this. Minimum wage rally. Virginia ranks as the worst state for workers' rights. I am going to explain this again. At $7.50 an hour, the rent starts at $1,000. How in the hell are you going to be able to afford a $1,000 rent plus utilities, plus gas, plus water, probably a car payment because you got to have a car? I'm sorry.
You got car insurance, you got cell phone, you got even homeowners insurance, electricity, water.
Even if you cut back everything to just the bare minimum, you can't survive off of $7.50. Ask one of your congressmen to do it. Ask one of your congressmen to live off $7.50 an hour. Matter of fact, ask them CEOs that make $1 million a year to live off $7.50 an hour while they're trying to pay off this big house. Or they got these fancy cars. I'm sorry. I just see things that's a little bit more precedent than your gun rights. Because at the end of the day, you might have your guns, but if there was a riot, aren't you just going to steal them anyway? So what difference does it make? I'm just saying, look, I'm not trying to make a big issue out of this. For me, bullying is an issue. For me, minimum wage is an issue. For me, suicide is an issue. Gun violence is an issue. Because for some reason, I'm still trying to figure out how these guys are getting guns. I'm still trying to figure out how people walking into places and shooting up places.
Yeah, I got that. Oh, and it was told abortion should be allowed for incest and rape.
Yes. Who wants to carry their daddy's or Uncle Jimmy's or Grandpa Bobby's baby? Who? That's what I'm saying. How is it that we, the people, can come up with logical explanations or good comments or good questions, and we elect people who can't even do that for us? Because I'm keep telling you, and I'm going to say it once, and I'm going to keep saying it. There are bigger pictures to. There are
pictures. You go there.
These people got bigger fish to fry. There is an agenda. Because remember,
but why do we have to keep people telling us what we can and cannot do?
I don't know.
Why do we have to keep raising everything up that's been there for years? You got apartments. You got houses that have been sitting there for years and years. You got houses that sitting on the side of the road that I pass all the time that are sitting there rotten, plants growing through them, the land's sitting there. But there's people that are struggling and working 2 to 3 jobs just to make ends meet and try to buy a house or buy an apartment and this, that, and the other. And you can't do that because if you raise the rent, you don't pay for it, then you don't get it. But these places around here have been around here for years. I was in an apartment that I lived in off of Patterson. It was $450 a month. I can guarantee you right now, those apartments are about $1,000 a month. And they've been there how long? I mean, come on, people. If you can't give us minimum wage higher than what it is, of how much we got to pay out on everything else, why do you think people are out in the streets? Why do you think people are going back home to their parents to live just so they can make it? Or you got to get 2 or 3 or 4 roommates just to live with you.
I can't make it off $750. I'm sorry, I can't make it off $750. My child support payments is $599.10. There's no way I can make it off $750.
Well, you can't make it off $750. And these people go, oh, well, you got to pay child support. So all of a sudden now the money that you pay out, you got to pay more to take care of everything else.
And they tell me as a man, I can get a second job.
You know what? That's all fine and dandy. But these people telling you to go get a second job and sit here and pay for this, that, and the other. Why don't y'all get a second job and work it back and forth and see what happens and this, that, and the other? Because I'm going to tell you what, bust your butt in that and you get so tired, then you're sick, you go to the hospital. You can't even afford to go to the hospital because they're raising all that.
I'm just telling you like this. Look, that's just some of the things I feel. And by the way, I am real sick and tired of hearing y'all talk about the Muslims wearing their, wherever the hell, that stuff they wrap around their head. Because I'm going to show you something Saturday. And no, it's not touchscreen on.
Well, then how do you get it up?
It's not, there's nothing there.
It is too. Roll it up one.
I did. See?
Okay, there you go.
By the way, all those who supposedly know their Bible, you do know that Jesus wore a prayer shawl, right? Because he was what? I'm going to show you something on Saturday, and I want you to understand something. This is their religion, just like Christianity is ours. You got to understand that the thing that I'm not understanding about people is this. We're supposed to be God's perfect creation. But yet we're so flawed. We are so flawed. Yeah. Tell me who's here, and then we go on. Because
that's another day.
That's another subject.
All right. Thanks for everybody tuning in. You got James, Susie and Tony, Tina, Kenny, Amanda, Kristen, and Jason. I'm glad y'all tuned in to watch our show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Depending on what our topic is for tonight. We have different topics every night. You never know what's going to happen.
Nope. And like I said,
what comes up.
I'm not bashing none of y'all who was in Richmond. I'm not bashing anybody who has guns. I'm not bashing anything. I'm not saying you don't have the right to protect yourself. I got it.
Everybody has the right to protect themselves, just how they want to protect themselves.
I'm just saying
with
that
what and how.
Where's all the support for all the real issues that we have? Because according to everything that goes on, we have an opiate problem, but yet we don't want to stop the pills. See, I could have sworn that our bodies were self-healing mechanisms.
They might be self-healing, but there are some things in your body that you just need a little something help because the pain hurts so bad.
No, you don't. Tylenol
does not.
Tylenol and weed.
But some people don't do weed.
Well, then there's Tylenol.
Well, Tylenol doesn't always kill the pain. How many of y'all people out there tell me that Tylenol, Motrin, Advil, and all that kill the pain?
Remember,
because some pains can't always be solved.
Our ancestors didn't have all that, but
you never know what they had out there themselves.
Yeah, they had alcohol. Goodbye, y'all.
Good night, everybody. And she said, Amy. She said, hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Annie. Tiffany, Susie, Lawrence, all y'all, and my family members. Love you all.
I'm more of a ninja assassin.
Yeah, all You're crazy, Leslie.
So that-
Susie. You're crazy. You're crazy, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in. And now we gotta go. I got
Have
to
a
go to
good night.
work in the
And we'll
morning.
see you. What's today? Tuesday. We'll see you Saturday.
Saturday.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to YA.
YAJ.
I'm losing it.
Welcome
What you lose?
to YAJ.
There we are again.
Boom.